a tribute. I feel like it's just
moments of silence, not just
let it.
Multiple moments of silence. God, dog.
Oh, let me go to the comments.
All this has me want to put on all black with the black leather jacket and the black turtleneck, black gloves.
Yeah.
I changed the do-rag to the Black Lives Matter one. I was wearing the normal black one anyway, but then I was like, no, I need to. I got a perfect one for this case. Let me switch.
We got to talk about this. What a time to be alive. This is 2020, folks. I never imagined. Never imagined.
Yeah, buddy. Let me see. Okay, so I shared. Easy funny. No, it's not funny.
A lot of funny reason to say.
There's a video of actually Chris Paul and Russell walking together talking to an official. I guess they came together already and talked about it.
And it said that they didn't accept.
That person that said hi everyone and Abe. Did I just I feel like I'm in trouble. I feel like I'm in trouble for some reason.
Hilarious. You grounded.
Yeah, like I'm about to.
Who said that? LJ?
She said that. Like, I'm low key worried. I'm about to get in trouble. I'm about to get a message from a parental. Like,
maybe she shouted you out.
See, it's just when people use my name, I just automatically get into defensive mode. I'm like, oh, crap.
My son is perfect. His heartbeat is strong. I'm sorry, my wife is just texting me from an appointment. My boy is strong.
Congratulations.
Strong black baby boy.
Daddy's strength is coming.
It's coming. I'm about to be out here spitting philosophies and facts in a new way.
Let me change.
I'm about to be a fantasy football champion.
Oh, good.
Emmanuel, I flat out forgot about that draft I had.
You say you forgot about what?
I need to send y'all my team. So I flat out forgot about this draft. I'm sitting there playing FIFA on the couch, and this kid texts me, "Hey man, draft is being postponed." I said, "What draft?" He said, "The one that was supposed to be today." I said, "Oh, when is it being postponed till?" He said, "I'll text you." 15 minutes later, "Oh, the draft is gonna be in 15 minutes." I said, "Dude, I've been thinking fantasy football for nothing." So I went to the group and I dug up all of Emmanuel's PPR rankings. You know, tier 1s, tier 2s, all that stuff. I just put everything in the queue. I was like, listen, we ain't losing this year. I ain't finna lose to y'all. And then, I mean, y'all see that trade that they're literally trading like every other hour, it feels like. And I'm like, y'all really don't know what you're doing out here. Literally.
Yeah, if I was a commissioner, I would have said, oh, this is not even fair. It's not even a fair trade.
Oh, I vetoed it. That trade got vetoed.
Yeah, I believe it.
I veto every trade they put up. Every trade.
They thought they were slick throwing in Philip Lindsay and then adding you on Calvin Ridley. I was like, that don't add up.
Right.
I'm out here, David Stern. I'm vetoing everything. Like, nah. Oh yeah, nah.
Don't be that guy. Veto everything.
Dude, I am that guy. I will veto a trade so quick. It don't matter what fantasy sport I'm playing. I will. Whoo!
LJ really pulled out the birth certificate name. She's just missing one more. And I'm sure.
Anytime she pulls that joint out, I fear for your life.
I don't even get the full government name pulled out by my parents unless I'm serious.
Anytime the parents pull out the government name, it's a wrap.
I'm sorry y'all put me on Cecil Squad. Why you ain't let me? We didn't do anything.
Who is that? Is that
LJ?
Is that LJ?
I'm talking y'all put me. First of all,
she asked for your references.
What are you? Are you the team mom? Are you the team mom for Osen and Abe? She like.
I
saw that and I was like, what? Because I've seen the LJ's leagues. I've been in a couple of them. I've seen her play. Like she just wanted references. You know, she wanted to see proof of championship winnings.
I don't know who's going to
listen,
leave.
Cecil.
Plus-
Listen, this is what y'all need to know about Cecil. Cecil is a better GM than his Philadelphia Eagles are. That's all you need to know. Cecil ain't in the corner over there eating Campbell's chunky soup all day, okay? A la Donovan McNabb. No, he really doing stuff, okay? And he respect this man. Respect.
I mean, look, I can go about it by myself. I do
He
bad
said,
all by
he said,
myself.
all by myself. Okay. Multiple moments.
That is facts. That is true, actually.
All games postponed today? Is that what's going on?
Well, Milwaukee went first,
I
and then, of course, the trickle effect.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. It's like March 11th all over again.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
Hey, hit him with that intro.
Folks about to be real hot. Oh, they're about to be hot. I already see it.
Bruh, Boston fans tomorrow?
Boston fans? Oh, they're done.
I already know how they about to get down tomorrow. I already know how they gonna get down tomorrow.
We should have
an intro.
Yo, here we are today. And this week really is I don't know. This week started off pretty dang solemn, to be honest. But we're here and we're gonna put some thoughts and some smiles on your faces, hopefully. Thoughts in your mind and hearts and smiles on your faces. I am Mr. 50% himself, your boy, the Osa and Abe, here with the usual crew, okay? Mr. Other 50%, aka Brother No Justice, No Peace, aka Mr. Black Lives Matter Do-Rag. Abe, the 50%. We gonna, let him know. Also, we got I don't know what kind of beverage. Oh, he don't have a beverage. That's his microphone. I'm sorry. He got a beverage.
God dang.
That ice is heavy. You got a mini iceberg.
You heard that shit?
Oh man,
bartender.
We got our beat reporter, Emmanuel, aka Baba Funke.
Yes,
and
sir.
of course, as always, he is. This is 2 weeks strong. He's been on the Do Rag Dawn Gang. Our producer.
Yeah. Need a little haircut, but it's all good.
Oh, I do too. That's why I got this. But I like this brim, My homeboy made this. He made a gang of these in the aftermath of Nipsey's
I am crying at the comment section because LJ really says she has never lost and she's not about to lose with Jamarcus Russell of fantasy.
Yo, listen.
I don't know why I'm in the
First of all, she hit you. She hit you with the JJ Redick to Zion. I ain't never missed the playoffs.
Okay. I mean,
here's the problem.
LJ. I mean, hey, look.
Jamarcus Russell. That's cold game. She just said,
I'm trying to grow this jaw out. I'm just, someone said,
do that, man. Grow that thing out. Get that growing.
Meanwhile, my mom has messaged me saying, "So when you gonna shave?" And I'm like,
"Oh, listen, that's why I don't visit my mom. Like, cause she's the first thing she gonna ask. Why is your face rough? You need to scrape your face."
First comments from my mother every time she watches a podcast or see pictures from the podcast is, "So you need to do something about that facial hair." Yeah. She'll call me. She called me at it was like after 9 o'clock. So it was after midnight for her on a work day. She called me and I'm like, "Yo, what happened?" Me, I go instantly into worst case scenario mode. I need to change that mindset, but I go instantly into worst case. So I'm like, "Yo, what went down? What's going on?"
Yeah.
And I'm online with Rob, and she's like, "Oh, I just wanted to hear your voice and to tell you to shave." And I'm like,
"See,
yep. You're not asleep to tell me this."
Yep.
Oh nah, yo.
Yep.
No, I was like, all right, I love you. I'm gonna talk to you later. Go to bed.
Cold world. I see Nigerian moms, bro. My mom hates my beard. She hates if I grow my hair out, God forbid. Oh my goodness. I might as well. Yeah, Rastafarian. Huh? Yeah, Rastafarian. Huh?
Yo,
Cut
the
your
one
hair.
time I asked if I could get dreads, that was the first
That was
comment they
the first
made,
and last.
and they shut it down, and I was just like,
absolutely.
Okay.
I either get that or I get accused by my mom of being a Muslim. You a Muslim, huh? Huh?
Wow.
Salam alaikum, huh? Huh? Mom.
My mom can't say that because my dad and his entire family is Muslim. So I can get away with it if I want to.
Oh, all I respond with is wa alaikum salam. Okay, you know what's up, mom? Don't play me. Okay. I know what's up. So yeah, it's okay to get a little rough and scruffy. Okay. And then so I dyed my hair for the first time. I think it was like 2 years ago.
You did.
Your face right there, Abe. That is exactly it.
I remember that. That was
that was right. Yeah, Cecil. Yeah, I was in prime when I did rhetoric in 2018. My mom was. I thought she was gonna pull out the butcher knife and cut my hair off herself, and make sure the knife is blunt. I don't know. I might go back blonde. Who knows? Anyhow, we here, folks.
My forehead too big.
It is just to set my forehead too big. Listen, if Rodman can do it, you can do it. If Rodman can do it, you can do
it. Yeah. I got the lowercase m happening. So
bless your heart.
I can't do it.
At least you are. At least you're honest. You know, some folks be out here doing stuff, and you know better.
Yeah, I'm not in denial at all.
Thing I got to dyeing my hair, I got frosted tips. Now, hold on now.
How did you get away with that? First of all, how did you get away with it?
There's a plot twist. All right. Okay. So, shout out to Rob too. So, I went to college out in Ohio. You know, and then when it gets cold, it gets cold, and I love the snow. So I decided to do my frosted tips with just snow on my head. I would have covered my head when I was outside in the snow. I let all the snow come on, and then I would take pictures, be like, got my frosted tips. And that's the closest I've ever done. Otherwise, no. I sent a picture to my mom, and she thought I legit dyed it.
I know.
And I was like, "No, that's snow. Relax." I had to send her a video. Be like, "Look, that's snow. Relax."
I'm gonna dye my hair again. By the way, if that's LJ, I'm dyeing my hair again. I'm gonna do it just for you. Listen, I did it. I'm a whole married man living on my own, and I did it, and I was still shook to step into my mom's house with that blonde hair. It was bad. I was out here looking like Meteor Man for a little bit in the initial stages. It was no bueno. But as is our aim on this program, not just to talk sports culture, but we have to acknowledge and speak up and use our platform to talk about what's going on in our world and our country. And one of the reasons why this week started off, I think, pretty solemn is because of another unfortunate run-in, an incident of police brutality. Took place in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is a suburb of Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken. Video came out, I think it was Sunday, of Jacob Blake in some sort of interaction with law enforcement, goes to enter his car on the driver's side, and not sure if police had already tased him, but do know this: as he was stepping into his car, police fired 7 bullets into his back with his 3 sons sitting in the car. Now, heard all kinds of things from people. What did you do to I can't stand when people say that. Well, what did you do? Like, we need the full facts and the full story. The fact remains, okay? Whether guilty, whether innocent, we live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty. We live in a country where you are afforded the right to have a fair trial before a jury of your peers, okay? The bottom line is this: if they didn't use the taser, they should have. You shot this man 7 times in his back, And the thing that gets me, because I'll be honest, to keep myself from going into a space of just Hulk level rage, I kind of went numb watching it. And I've done my best to try to not watch some of these videos because it's traumatizing. But what got me is the fact that his 3 sons, and Cecil, I know you can relate to this, his 3 sons are sitting in the car. Like, as a dad to be, right before we started this program, my wife sent me a text. She just went to the doctor to get checked up and to see everything going on with the baby. My boy is strong. He's healthy, all of those things. I can't imagine what it would be for my son to be sitting in the backseat of a car and watch me get shot multiple times. Reports are coming out now that he's paralyzed from the waist down. Gents, what were your initial thoughts when you, I'm assuming all of you have seen the video. Yes. What were your initial thoughts when you saw it, guys?
Dog, when I saw that, it looked just like a New York style gangster film. Like, oh, you just caught the person that you was hired to kill, and he's trying to run away, and you just holding on to his tank top, and he's running, and it's just like you pulled out a gun, it's like pop, 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 pop. Like, that's the vibes I completely got. I was like, this is from a movie scene, but this is actual real life. My man didn't even look like he was running away. I didn't even see him like put the jets on, just walk to his car, open it. Doesn't even get a chance to get in the car before he gets popped. And I had no idea that the kids were in the car.
Right.
That was just sickening. It was, and when I saw it, my first thought is, what are the excuses going to be used to justify this?
Right.
What are people going to say to try to play it off?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing was, this happened on Monday, correct?
Sunday.
So I woke up on Monday, and Monday's my Sabbath. So usually I unplug from everything on Mondays, but I do like to just hop on Twitter. So I woke up, and I slept in, and I see a message from a mentor and my big sister. Her name's Sarah. Shout out to Sarah. And she's like, I'm sorry that the world sucks. I just want to check in on you. And I was just, at first I was like, this is a weird message to wake up to, but like, I've gone way back with her, so I was just talking to her and we were just chatting. And then I was on my Twitter and I was looking at the TL and I saw that video, and it dawned on me, oh, this is why she messaged me. And I messaged her back and I said, yo, I just saw the video, and like, it sucks because I was temporarily in ignorant bliss. I woke up today thinking like, oh, Monday, no problems going on. We got sports, it's relaxing, whatever. And instead, something terrible, awful had happened. And for a few hours, like an hour or two, I had no idea. My and therefore my mood was cool. And then I saw that, and then it just like changed the tone of the day for me. And so we continued talking, and conversation got deeper. And I was just like, look, man, it's crazy the world we live in. It's crazy what people are willing to do to try to ignore the issues that are going on. It's crazy the excuses people are willing to make, as if a criminal record justifies getting shot 7 times in the back in front of your kids when there are 3 officers. It makes zero sense. It's appalling. And so it just bothered me. It really bothered me.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I saw when I saw the video, I saw somebody on my Facebook made a post and said, even though this is wrong and the police did what they did and it was wrong and blah blah blah, Jacob should have, in long story short, he wrote a long post, but long story short, he was saying how Jacob could have not walked to the car. Like, what was he doing walking to the car in the first place? Like, why did he have to do that? And this person was black posting this, and I find it very desensitizing that we still can find a way to justify why an unarmed person is getting harmed or getting police are attempting to murder this guy. We're still trying to justify um, that victim for whatever reason. And the truth of the matter is that it's inhumane. Police know what to do. They know how to limit or not use brute force. They know. So I don't, people who are in the slightest way justifying this, your priorities are really off, honestly. Really, really off. Um, him going to the car, if that's the case and people are saying, I don't accurately know this, but they said, okay, he was going to the car to get a gun. Jacob Blake was, but at the end of the day, honestly, that doesn't even matter. If you see him going to the car, you're police, brute force. You could have detained him, you could have tackled him, you could have something. But giving some measly pulling of the shirt, like you're playing tag, like just to shoot him in the back, that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. So it's still inhumane. It is attempted murder. I feel for those kids, because you have to live with that, and then you have to now fight through this process of now being okay or getting free from that trauma. That is trauma that just came into your brain. And for me, you know, again, he is a father. I said husband on my post, but I don't know if that's accurate. He is married or no? Does anybody know?
I'm not sure.
But he is a father, nonetheless.
Right.
So the fact that you're living, you're healthy, you're walking around, you're just, doing you whatever, and all of a sudden in a day or two, you go from that to being paralyzed. That's it's I can't I don't wish that on anybody, and that's something that I can't even fathom to imagine what he's going through, dealing with this, because he is still alive. So let's not I don't want to hear people saying no, my condolences and stuff like that. Like, he's still alive, so keep praying for the family. But just to go from being healthy, lively, walking to now paralyzed, and then having your kids to see all of this, it's there's no words that can describe that type of mental headspace that the kids have to kind of work through, and Jacob that has to go through this.
Yo, man, like, when is this gonna stop? My first thoughts is, man, I was speechless. Um, I was numb. Especially, you guys mentioned he was a father first and foremost. But and being shot in the back 7 times, man, like, it's like come on, you know. And like you said, they could have detained him, like pulled him away, put him in cuffs or something. But like, this is not the answer, and this is the reason why you hear people now talking about defunding the police. There was actually a poll saying that 81% of African Americans want to defund the police, and they feel like they can police their own neighborhoods. So just on a recent poll, because the reality is a lot of the police officers are reactionary. Let's just be real with it. There's some, I congratulate the cops that are very proactive in their community, and I have nothing against them. But we're talking about the ones that are so reactionary and they just, react for like no apparent reason, or they have their biases, or the prejudices, or the racism. That's uncalled for. First and foremost. So I was devastated, man, when I saw that, and him being paralyzed. When he said from waist down, I really hope he files a lawsuit against the police department, so he can get rightfully paid, compensated as well. So that's what I really hope for him, and I'll definitely keep him in prayer. But it's like, man, like when is it going to stop? You know, and shout out to people that are speaking up about it on social media, athletes, entertainers, and things like that to bring more awareness to it. And yeah, man, the cops should be charged with attempted murder first and foremost. And
he can work through it. He's not permanently paralyzed. That's not what they said, but he is paralyzed. So I really hope and pray that he can. That won't be a permanent thing.
Right. But yeah, that's all I have to say, man. It's just.
So, a couple of things in line with what you mentioned, Emmanuel, about the poll that you read about defunding the police. First of all, let's just get some clarity out there, because people hear language and want to run with it and try to use it to discredit the things that we are fighting for. Saying defund the police is not saying, oh, strip the police of all funding and we want to get rid of, law enforcement. No,
Right.
It's saying allocation of funds when it comes to the amount of money that's going into police departments to reallocate them to things like mental health, first responders, and things like that. Secondly, when it comes to law enforcement officers who are in particular communities, the reason why, and I think people don't understand this, the reason why a lot of Black communities feel like they can police themselves is for this reason. A lot of officers who are assigned to beats in those communities don't actually get to know the community. So they have their conceived notion. And then here's another thing. Some of the best people to police your community are those within your community. It brings joy to my heart when I see, for example, teachers in my community who grew up in the city maybe and went to school in the city, maybe went away to college, but came back and they want to get back to their community. Law enforcement should be the same way, but because of the negative interaction that has happened between law enforcement and the Black community, Black kids grow up and they see police and they're like, nope, I for sure don't want to be that. And if you even aspire to be that, you're going to be labeled as the ops or the enemy. I'm good. I'm good. So the cycle continues instead of there being a positive image that's given in regards to law enforcement. Because listen, if I grew up in a Black neighborhood and we see, because the other thing that drives me nuts is when people bring up, well, Black on Black crime. No such thing. We don't talk about white on white crime, Mexican on we don't. That's not even a thing. The term Black on Black crime was invented by the Nixon administration to stir up some untruth and to help distract away from what they were doing in regards to the war on drugs, the injustice going on with the war on drugs. So if I am an individual in a community, Black individual in a community, there should be a desire to want to say, listen, my community, this is my community that I'm investing in, instead of people looking and saying, well, the crime rates are so high in these communities and all of that. They're high in these communities because there's a high population of us. But if there's a heart to see your community changed, and that's what, we like to talk solutions here on this show. It is my genuine hope, if you are listening to this program and you live in a predominantly, Black community, I know it might be a little tough. You might hear some pressure and some ridicule, but don't be ashamed to go back and be able to be law enforcement and help protect and serve in your community. Now, we know things can get weird in the police academies and departments and stuff like that, but be the change. The change isn't necessarily going to come through the ballot box. It's not going to come through that person sitting in the White House. It's not going to come necessarily through the Supreme Court, but we at the ground level in our cities can change. Lastly, I want to bring this up because this was a new twist that came up. A young man by the name of Kyle Rittenhouse, a whole teenager, obsession, reminds me very much of Dylan Ruff, had an obsession with Blue Lives Matter, all of that, pulls out an AR-15 and shoots and kills 3 protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just seen that. I don't know the full details on it, but
he was on the run, got caught. Here's the thing. They kind of just let him do his thing. It wasn't like he put out this
17-year-old.
Yeah.
17-year-old aspiring officer.
There you go.
Aspiring cop. That's what one headline
With
I'm like, no, that
Exactly.
is the domestic
with an assault
terrorist.
weapon. So, like, it's all of the things that have been talked about, that we've been fighting about, that have been way, that people looked at and said, oh, this stuff is way out of control. You guys are overstating things. It all comes together in this moment right now.
That's amazing. Like,
In this
what?
moment right now. So to allow, because the other thing is this, the kid crossed state lines as well. He came from Illinois. So it's not like he's even a local. So for all of the talk that people do about, Antifa, and they're trying to tear our country apart and all that other stuff, I don't care what side you fall on, right, left, extreme right, extreme left, whatever. The fact of the matter is this: wrong is wrong and right is right. This kid traveling across state lines to do what he did, flat out wrong. And like I mentioned a few moments ago,
police a favor?
Yeah, he thought he was doing the police. The police essentially deputized the kid. Like they might as well have just deputized him. Like we have seen happen multiple times in history, whether it be with the Tulsa race massacre. They were out there deputizing. They basically deputized the KKK in that moment. But check it. The kid didn't get shot up. Got arrested calmly. So these are the things. Listen, it hasn't even been a whole 72 hours in between Jacob Blake getting shot and what Kyle Rittenhouse does. And we see already the drastic differential in treatment. So, like I said before, folks, not going to come through the ballot box. Probably not going to come to whoever sits in that White House. It starts with us in our cities. Starts with us in our local communities. We have to be the ones to be the change. So if you're so angry and your hope is in whoever gets elected in November, you've already missed it. Oops, smack my mic. You've already missed it.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's important to vote.
The ship done sailed.
Within the cities too. Vote for your local.
Oh yeah, local government.
Local officials, mayors,
councilmen, councilwomen.
All that stuff is important because the president. I mean, let's just be real. The president doesn't have as much authority as we keep looking at that spot as. Like, there's other people that are involved that help with this stuff. And another thing, when it comes to police, manning their own communities and stuff like that, this is why historically, initially, why gangs was created. Initially was to actually protect the community and protect from other bad people. Like, if you grew up in hoods and stuff like that, gangs were actually formed because of that, not because of what's happening now with gangs. They perverted that whole meaning of gangs, so that's where it's at right now. But initially, because there was so much of that tension with police and the community, and police wasn't doing their job, they wasn't engaged in the community, all they did was just pretty much came to arrest, came to harm, came to disrupt or whatever, then you had these other group of people that was like, all right, well, we're going to step up to the plate and protect our hood and protect our neighborhood. So it goes back to, even from that time, like, we have so much work to do, and to see stuff like this that still happening, is draining. It is draining, but your voice, your actions still matter in your neighborhood. It may not be. So what if it doesn't reach all the way to Washington and the White House? Your neighborhood still matters. Your local community still matters. So still go out and vote, but still be that person of change and example, and just let the chips fall where they may. We can't control everything, but what we can control is what we do, for sure.
Don't forget that the Black Panthers were seen as some sort of communist, terrorist threat back in the day. But we had the KKK running around. They were like, there we go. KKK, they got it right. And it's like, oh, really? Burning crosses, lynching people, that's right. But an organization, and don't get me wrong, Black Panthers, they had their own issues too, for sure. Not everything was perfect and well intentioned, but their basis was to educate and to support and to provide for the Black communities that were not receiving any type of support from their government, from their communities, from politicians. So it's funny when you look at that in retrospect and say, even to this day, the KKK isn't seen as a threat by recognized law enforcement.
They're just those loonies over there, but they have their right to free speech. What people forget is this, and this is the other thing, and we'll move on after this. And when I say move on, like I mean that in the most respectful manner. Folks always say, why can't y'all just be like Martin? Martin was peaceful. Martin, first of all, Martin, the most hated man in America during his time. Like, don't do that. There is such a romanticized view of history, and people don't look at history with a critical or contextual lens. Secondly, folks don't realize towards the end of Malcolm's life, I mean, not Malcolm, Martin's life, he was getting pretty radical. And it's as if him and Malcolm switched roles. Like Malcolm was chilling out and Martin was getting real radical. So listen, before people sit up here and say, be more like so-and-so, do yourself a favor and I mean this honestly, respectfully, go really read the history, not a sanitized version of history, but the real, raw, unedited, unfiltered, I mean, straight up view of history and truth behind it. Because like Abe said, there are folks who will listen to this and they'll hear what you said, Abe, and they will scoff. The Black Panthers were. Truth of the matter is that's what the Black Panthers were. They were a community protection organization.
Right.
I do want to make this one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
More so. This is for everybody watching, for all our audience, for all our fans.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Stephen A right now.
Any of you who have your own businesses that are Black or minority owned or have friends, drop them in the comments, email us, like let us know, because I'm trying to give all my money away to Black owned and minority owned businesses. I'm tired of, giving to organizations that don't really mean much. Like, hey, I'm with it. I want to support, I want to buy Black, I want to support Black. So by all means, drop them in the comments, email us. You already know how to get in touch with us. Yeah. Hit us up on social media, do all that. We're trying to support.
We try. OSNA, we are a platform dedicated.
Especially if you make clothes, because I've been needing to update my wardrobe. So
listen, I love my white tees and my Black tees, but I'll rock something for the cause. Let me tell you. Emmanuel, I think you had something to say, and then
just to your Martin reference. People pay attention to the last speech Martin Luther King said, talking about economic withdrawal. So if people talk about be like Martin, why don't you listen to his last speech, and you'll more likely you'll carry a different tune.
People don't know. They want the nice sanitized. They don't want the real raw uncut. But anyhow, like while we're talking about justice, we're gonna talk about I don't know, is he like the captain of the Justice League? Is that what Batman is described as, kind of the leader of the Justice League? I don't know, but this past weekend,
maybe. I mean, it's a trinity. It's a trinity.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. But yeah, the Batman Gotham Knights trailer came out, and also the newest, the Batman trailer came out. I gotta ask this: are y'all excited for this Batman film with Robert Pattinson? Y'all trying to see that?
I am actually.
I'll give him a shot.
I'm kind of on. I'm so. I'll probably give it a shot.
Yeah, I like it.
Keep in mind,
I seen the trailer.
I'm not a Twilight fan in the slightest, and I know some people rag him on that. But let's remember that Chris Evans was the Human Torch in a version of Fantastic Four that we aren't really fans of. But he redeemed himself in Cap. So I'm gonna give Pattinson his chance. Maybe he can redeem himself.
I think he can. I have hope for him. I was looking forward to it. The only thing that I'm wrestling with is this. This film doesn't work in conjunction with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker film, because the Joaquin Phoenix Joker film, in that film, if you remember at the end of the film, if you haven't seen it, oh well, that's your fault. Been out for like 2 years now. 2 years. At the end of it, is the scene where Bruce Wayne's parents get killed. So if you combine both films, you know, the Joker, by the time Robert Pattinson is Batman, gonna be in his 50s or 60s. Nobody want no geriatric Joker. We don't need all that. So I'm interested to see how they do that. I'm interested to see how the DC universe recovers from this shellacking that they've gotten from Marvel. Little known fact, DC was actually supposed to put out the first kind of like mega film with the Justice League. That film was supposed to come out in 2008, and then there were contract disputes. Common was supposed to play the Green Lantern. There were contract disputes. And what happened? They missed that boat. Iron Man came out in 2009, and the rest is history. So I give Robert Pattinson a shot. I give I give the man a shot. Hopefully you can redeem yourself, because I haven't watched Twilight, but the idea of it just makes me kind of want to gag. What else? Suicide Squad kills the Justice League trailer. I didn't get a chance to catch that. Tell me about it, Abe. You got that look.
Anyways,
he's too geeked. Look at him.
I know, right?
Look, the trailer opened up with Brainiac, like already taking over Metropolis. And when it comes to DC, Brainiac is one of those villains that is like, he gonna give you hands, because you just can't get rid of him. You can't. It's not easy to beat Brainiac, just like it's not easy to beat Darkseid. And Darkseid is my number one comic villain, followed by Vader, and then number 3 is Brainiac. So it opens up, and then you have this Suicide Squad. So you got Deadshot, you got Harley Quinn, you got King Shark, and you got Captain Boomerang. They just chilling around while mayhem is happening. Typical Suicide Squad stuff.
Yep, of course.
You find out they got a mission, and they're sitting in the background. They're being attacked by Brainiac's minions. They're standing in the background. And then behind them is a helicopter that crashes, and they turn around and they see Superman, and he's holding the pilot from the helicopter. And so Harley Quinn, being Harley Quinn, is like, "Hey, we're busy here, Superman. Like, oh look, you saving the day. Can you go somewhere else? We got our own mission."
That part.
And you look at Superman, my beloved Superman. That's my favorite hero. That's my favorite. He looks at the pilot and vaporizes him. And immediately I started screaming. I was like, yo! And then Harley Quinn said, we found our target. We're supposed to be hunting down Superman and Justice League. So the theme is that Brainiac has taken control of the Justice League and is using them as pawns. Suicide Squad, the anti-heroes of the DC Comics, are about to step in. So
kill Superman. Kill him.
I'm cool with giving hands to the Justice League.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. So give me all of that.
Listen.
Unfortunately, we have to wait until 2022. So I got real upset.
You got a little sad.
I was like, oh, so we're gonna get that next year? No.
Nope.
And I'm like, why are you showing the trailer? Like, what? What is the point?
At least in 2022, 2020 is gonna be a little active. We have the World Cup. It's gonna be a fun summer if that come out in 2022. Listen, I don't like Superman. The Batman versus Superman film, like, listen, I was excited when Superman took that L in that movie. Okay. I went to see that movie with a group of, it must have been like 20 of us. We was back there in the back of the theater with so much candy and stuff that we had smuggled in. It looked like a frat house back there. It was bad.
Oh, and I want to sit in front of you.
Oh, dude. And we had we had the back row and I think the row in front of us. And one of the homies, he's a huge Superman fan. I mean, like, his man cave was decked out in Superman colors, all of that stuff. When Superman died, this dude was over here crying. I laughed straight in his face. I laughed dead in his face.
By the way, y'all, he's talking about me.
Oh, wow.
No, real talk. I wasn't crying because I knew clearly what would happen. Like, one of my favorite Superman plots is the Superman dies storyline.
Yeah.
It's the death of Superman because, like, yo.
Wow, he laughed in your face? Wow.
I need y'all to understand this. This is the reason why I adore Superman, is because he's an all-powerful being that is a Boy Scout, of course. But you got to understand something. The struggle he faces to not become a dictator like you see in the Injustice storyline.
Oh yeah.
To me, it just speaks to like the mental and psychological trials he has to go through. Because if you pay attention to Justice League, the animated series, the comics, whatever, you realize that there are maybe one of two times where Superman really just throws all caution to the wind and he actually lets his anger take over.
Yep.
And that's when it comes to Darkseid, because Darkseid took control of him and son of his Darkseid and made him do things that he didn't want to do. And that is the one person he truly hates with a passion. So for me, it's just like, yo, you have this hero who low-key can just become like one of the strongest villains ever if it snaps. Loki is a great character, by the way, because Loki toes that line. You never know what side he's on. You don't know. He's in it for himself. But that's why I'm a Superman fan, because I'm like, look, you mess with Superman, like you take away his family, he about to just go berserk and the whole solar system. And I love the fact that that's a threat, which is why I've come to enjoy Batman, because Batman recognizes that, as does Lex Luthor. They recognize, like, hey, if Clark Kent snaps, that's it for all of us. So we need to put an end to that. So I'm like, yeah, I feel it. Anyway, yeah, you know what? I'm nerding out. Yeah, you know, I'm my fault.
I know. The only Superman anything I really liked was Smallville. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed me some Smallville
up until that last season.
Oh, that last season frustrated me. That last season frustrated me.
The Static Shock movie, did they say anything about Static Shock?
Rumors about a Static Shock movie coming.
We need it though. We need it. Y'all out here talking about Black Adam. Give us Static Shock. We want Static Shock. Give us Static Shock.
It's a good
Streets is talking. Streets want Static Shock. Okay.
DC trying to.
They need to sponsor us too. DC, go sponsor us.
By the way, I'm not a big Pokemon fan outside of the video games, and that's going back to the basics, red and blue.
Yep.
I was, excuse me. I was cussing Ash out when he got turned to stone, because I was like, that's what you get. And Pikachu, you better move on, because you deserve better. I was like, Pikachu, you don't deserve that nonsense.
Wow, you deserve a better. You deserve a better.
I was like, you do that thing, Mewtwo. You let them know. You set all these Pokemon free, yo.
Yeah,
they are slaves. Set them free, Mewtwo.
What is this? The what do you call it? The Pokemon Liberation Movement, the PLM.
So Lyndon says there is a trailer for Static Shock.
Shoot, Lyndon, I need to see this. I need to see it. We go see it. What else we got? Oh,
drop that link.
Yeah, drop that Addy. Speaking of Superman dying, for you Barcelona fans out there, Messi said, "Adios." Messi said he wants out. Now, this on a scale of, I mean, we've had, when you talk about stars, franchise players divorcing from their franchise, this one, I think this is up there with, I think this might be the most shocking per se of all. Like Tom Brady, we saw Tom Brady come, like it was kind of already there, right? We kind of saw that coming. LeBron, I mean, we knew this dude, Dan Gilbert,
based off his MO.
like Dan Gilbert wasn't trying to help LeBron out. So when he took hightailed to Miami, it was like, oh, okay, like you are either going to Miami or Chicago. But Messi, now it had been rumored for the past couple of seasons that Lionel Messi, some rate him as, you know, the GOAT, or at least top 3 all time, that he was going to that he was going to, you know, maybe ride it out. Past couple of years, though, there was a little tension there. Here's the issue with Messi, and we're going to talk more about this on the Reformed Hooligans podcast. Check us out, dropping this el viernes. That's Friday for y'all. But and I've said it previously on that program, that I used to make this comparison between Messi and LeBron, because the teams build around these players, and literally the player is like the GM. But I take back all of that slander. As much as I dislike LeBron, he is not as bad as Messi, because Barcelona is currently almost $1 billion in debt due to player buys. Because here's how it works in soccer. It's not like an outright trade. A team has to pay what's called a transfer fee to buy you out and bring you over. That's separate from the actual salary you're going to make. So Messi is making, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of like $500,000 a week just off his salary. His his release clause. So if a team wants to buy him out from Barcelona, his release clause is, I think, $700 million. So news comes out this week. You know, there's always been this rivalry between him and Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Kind of spoken, whatever. Messi has been in Barcelona his entire career. And he comes out this week after they got destroyed last week in the Champions League semis by Bayern Munich 8-2. Comes out, he's like, I'm done, I'm out, I'm leaving, I'm bouncing. Okay. Yeah, it's not a good look, but I think Barcelona needed it because they need to rebuild. They, like I said, they've built their team around him just to keep him happy, when in reality, their academy or their youth program is suffering. They used to have one of the best academies in the world. Now it's trash. We don't hear anything about it. They used to have their academy and their players used to basically run the Spanish national team. No mas. They're out here spending unnecessary chip. This past summer, they had to make what do you call it? I think it was in the neighborhood of almost $100 million in player sales just to keep the books balanced, and they couldn't do it. Like it's a hot mess. It's just a hot
Messi
mess.
Was that young? I thought he was older than that.
Nah, Messi's only 33.
Really?
32 going on 33. Yeah. But he's been pro since he was.
Yeah, he gets a lot of mileage on that joint.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of mileage on him. But rumor is he's going to Manchester City.
Messi, come to Chelsea. I don't know how we're gonna make it work, but Messi, come to Chelsea.
I don't even have money. You guys done spent all your money. You know, bought like five dudes. Bought Ben Chilwell today. Like, stop it. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Ain't tripping. Messi out here.
I got you.
Thank you. Tripping. So Messi, go bye-bye. This is literally this is probably bigger news internationally than LeBron when he left Cleveland that first time. Yeah. Because here's the thing. Everyone knew in the back of their mind, at least if you pay attention to sports, that this dude Messi, LeBron was someday going to come back to Cleveland. Like it did. Like when he went back home, it wasn't like it was kind of like a yay. He kind of saw that coming. Messi ain't going back to Barcelona. He's not. That man ain't going back to Barca. That's not happening. It's not happening. He's probably going to retire here in the States, playing in the MLS, because a part of allegedly his potential contract with Manchester City is he'll play 3 years for Manchester City, and then he will then transfer to their affiliate, New York FC, out here in the great US of A. So, I mean, he can land and retire and do his thing. So it is what it is. There's that.
26 million in salary. He's 5'7". Wow. Oh,
let's talk about more international folk. NBA Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or as our dear friend Sammy, who's not quite a friend of the show, likes to call him, Giannis attempting a free throw. Listen, when I saw that, I died.
I like to call him the Nigerian freak.
That's yes, not the Greek. He's Nigerian. Listen, he gets Defensive Player of the Year. AD was second place in the voting. A lot of people thought it would be the opposite, that AD would get Defensive Player of the Year and Giannis would get MVP. At this point, here's how I feel about it, okay? I think just go ahead and let Giannis get that good old MVP as well. We doubling up out here. If he gets MVP, listen, Nigerian Independence Day. We're recording an episode, okay? I think it's the day before Nigerian Independence Day. We're acting a stone cold fool. A stone cold fool.
Malta and Chin Chin on deck. You gonna hear Nigerian music in the background. I'm not even gonna be in the room. I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna be standing in the background, just like dancing, like
a whole fool.
Skelewu.
Yes, bias is off the chart. Bias is all time high right now. Okay, we biased. Okay, and speaking of biased, okay, shout out to the biased media, especially over at ESPN, talking about, we voting LeBron as MVP based on narrative. If y'all don't get that out of here, if you don't get that garbage, but it explains why Kobe got robbed of a couple MVPs. Y'all was over here doing this narrative thing with Steve Nash. Like, this narrative bit, it bothers me. It really does. LeBron out here with his hair look like y'all ever eaten? I saw this meme the other day. You ever had a Reese's and you taking it out the wrapper, but that little chunk on the backside of the Reese's gets stuck in the wrapper. That's what LeBron's hair look like the little chunk that got stuck in the back of the wrapper. Like, y'all gonna let this man, just because it's year 17. Stop it. LeBron ain't doing this without AD. Okay.
Why would he not win it?
Yeah.
Or
Why should he?
Why should he?
Yeah.
Let's not. I mean,
I'm not saying LeBron is trash. Like, I'm not saying LeBron is trash, but I'm saying most folks are gonna vote on the narrative. But LeBron, honestly, LeBron is the best player, but not on the best team. I guess the normal situation is, best player on the best team. If that's what we're going for, the Bucks were the best team in the regular season. Minus the bubble stuff, the stuff that happened in the bubble, because they obviously didn't
we're not
care.
counting that. I mean, he led the league in assists. At that, I think
led the league in assists. He's a point guard. He ball dominant. Come on, if he does not lead the league in assists,
he's been ball dominant before and having that led the league in assists. So my thing is with LeBron, he at this rate, I think of Nash. When Nash went MVP, he led the league in assists, obviously. But to score at the rate he does and then still lead the league in assists.
What rate? That man is so passive.
There's a rate. From a pure basketball.
Look, here's
knowledge.
the thing.
So
here's why the whole thing is being questioned.
Let's see him finish. Let this narrative.
Just real quick.
Narrative. I like narrative.
It's not a narrative. It's
no,
just
it will say this though. But here's the thing. It is a fact that Ramona Shelburne said that it is narrative based. That is a fact. Bro. So these are the people that are voting. If one of them has said that, hey, this is narrative based, there are definitely others. So, we can't deny that people are biased when they make their picks. That's all I'm going to say. That can't be disputed.
I'm not saying I'm biased at all. I'm not. And
I mean, you're not a MVP voter. I'm saying the MVP voter didn't acknowledge that.
Continue with his factual narrative.
No, I'm saying
LeBron ain't no power forward.
I don't have
LeBron ain't no power forward.
From LeBron and Giannis and all that hoopla. The fact is this: yes, led the league in assists. Him be able to score plus 20 and then have 10 points. I think 10.2, I believe, assists.
Yes, 10-2.
That says a lot. Okay, Giannis also with his defensive stats and his numbers as well. That does say a lot too. But as far as just discrediting LeBron, as far as there's no way he should win the MVP, that's where I'm like, I mean, if he does, I would not be surprised. Now, the question, though, that I wanted to ask,
stop with that glacier in your sippy cup, man.
that I wanted to ask bartender Watson is Giannis. I'm looking at the stats, and pretty decent. Then you have Anthony Davis. Why didn't he get Defensive Player of the Year?
That's a great question.
I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, what are the reasons why he didn't win it?
I think narrative again. I felt AD should have won Defensive Player of the Year.
In my opinion, it was going to be a Laker and a Buck winning these two awards.
Yeah,
I thought that Giannis would win MVP and AD win Defensive Player of the Year. But the fact that Giannis won Defensive Player of the Year, I am 90% convinced Bron is winning MVP. As a result, I won't really complain about it as long as at the end of the day, Giannis still set a record. I mean, he's now in a select group of players that have won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Shout out to the former Nigerian great Hakeem. Shout out to the adopted Nigerian great Kevin Garnett. So you know what? It's all family affair. It's all family affair.
55%,
hey, I got this question though,
because 13, 29.
Here's what I kind of feel though about LeBron getting MVP this year. I almost feel like this is a makeup MVP because when was the last time LeBron won MVP? Was that 2013 or 2014 or 2012? I don't remember. Hold on, let me check.
I thought it was 2012, the second year with the Heat.
2012. No, 2013. 2013. So it's been 7 years that he won since he won MVP. And look at all the players who won MVP in that time. Do you feel like LeBron was more deserving than any of those players?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Twice. You got Russ, you got Jimmy, you got Giannis. Yeah. So I almost feel like
I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to him winning.
Hey, Russ had a ridiculous year.
That was ridiculous.
MVP.
There's something that hasn't been seen since Oscar Robertson, and now he makes it a norm.
Yeah, right. Like it's unreal. So hear me out though. I'm not saying like LeBron should just be not even in consideration for the MVP. I just, I got that green, white, green pulsing through my veins. Go ahead and give it to
LeBron Raymond James.
That green, white, green surpasses everything.
I'm telling you, I'm speaking it right now. We're gonna get Giannis on this show. Someday we're gonna have Giannis on this show. Okay, we're gonna have the whole Antetokounmpo clan on this show.
And then I want all of you to come forward and to express your grievances. And to see if that disrespect is going to hold up. Because there is no way y'all is going to clown my Nigerian brethren
while they
as if he ain't doing great.
Clown on what?
We are turning up that day too.
That he shouldn't get MVP?
Whole thing. No, I already said it. I thought he was going to win one of the other. So I'm completely
he got one.
If he doesn't get both, it doesn't matter.
Championships.
At the end of the day,
points win games. Okay.
At the end of the day, he's a select group of people who've won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. So I don't have any problems. LeBron can have it. I don't think they gave it to AD. You can only give it to LeBron or Giannis.
I wouldn't be mad if Giannis wins MVP. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's 29, 13, and 5, and 55% from the field. LeBron.
I ain't learning Greek for nothing.
25.
Yeah, Robbie, we ain't learning Greek. I might learn high and by. That's it. Okay.
25,
that's
7, and 10.
Learn Greek as a show.
49%. So I mean,
it doesn't ring for non-Nigerians.
Nigerian freak. That was my nickname back in the day.
Pause. What?
What? It was either that or the Nigerian nightmare. I had 3 nicknames. I had the Nigerian freak, the Nigerian nightmare, and my favorite, the Nigerian wonder. Okay, listen.
All of that. Look, where's the commercial?
High school. I had Nigerian nightmare, and I had Nigerian beast, and that was it.
Cecil is uncomfortable right now. Look at Cecil. He's uncomfortable right now.
Where do these names come from?
Hey, look, we didn't come up with
people acknowledge greatness.
This is what
the greatness. They see it. And they don't know how to describe it other than these particular adjectives and nouns. Okay.
So look. We need y'all to understand something. This is called the Osa and Abe show. You got 2 Nigerians. What do you expect us to? You expect us to be like, no, Nigerians? No. He's
I know you one thing. I ain't calling you freak. I'm not calling you Nigerian freak.
No, he is the Nigerian freak, and y'all gonna have to deal with that. Y'all can petition. Y'all can go to change.org. Y'all can hit up messages. I don't care. He is Nigerian freak.
In the Pokemon Liberation movement. Whatever you want.
You can turn the stone. You can give me tears of sadness. I don't care.
Hey, if he's a Nigerian freak, y'all call me the Chin Chin freak.
Pause. What's commercial? I'm going to commercial.
Hello everyone, I'm Sean Laurie and I'm the founder of A Dreamer's Ambition, and I have a program to empower the youth to help the next generation flourish through self-discovery. And because of everything with COVID, right, I wasn't able to obviously do this in person anymore, so I'm working on doing it online. So I encourage you to please follow me on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. Just go to A Dreamer's Ambition. And I just wanted to tell you guys one more thing. Keep on dreaming.
All right, rumor mill. All right. All right.
Get out of here, man.
All right. All of it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, with the rumor mill, you guys.
Something else.
All right, I'm gonna start with some fantasy news and notes.
Go to fantasy news. I need some because I'm trying to win this my league. I'm trying to win 2 leagues.
Before you start that, by the way, you guys, we have the SSA sponsored fantasy football league is officially up. Yeah, we have 8 podcasts / organizations already represented. We have 4 spots remaining. I don't know if they've been claimed yet. If you want to get in, the buy-in is $50 because we're serious about this business. If you feel like you got the smalls, if you a fantasy football guru, by all means, step up to the plate, show us what you got. I'm already telling you this. Osa and Abe is very well represented right now.
Cover Zero was talking like they finna wax us. They tripping.
Who running that Cover Zero team? Who's running that Cover Zero team? Because I got a message to y'all. Y'all can take second. Y'all can take third. Y'all ain't taking first.
Y'all can be first place runner up. How about that? Anyways, yeah, Bob Funka, hit him with it.
Okay, so major news: David Montgomery, running back for the Chicago Bears, he avoids a major injury. He's actually one of the best value running backs in fantasy in terms of him being a potential bell cow, more than likely. From what I'm hearing, it seems like it's a growing injury. Now, estimation, he could be out to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the severity of it, according to some insiders. So it just depends on the severity of his growing injury. That's what's being reported. Obviously, it's going to be week-to-week basis, but the curious thing about it is for running backs who have groin injuries, you have to kind of be cautious because those things can pop back up again, during the season. So people have to be very mindful and watch out how the way he heals from now until when the season starts or when he comes back. So people have to pay attention if there's any setbacks.
He's on my team.
He is?
Yeah.
But look, it's still a great value. Well, do you know what round you got him?
I got him in one of the later rounds.
You're fine.
Don't embarrass after I just gloated one. Don't embarrass us like this. Also,
listen, I told you what happened with my fantasy draft, yo. I wasn't even paying attention to the time. I was over there playing FIFA, and the commissioner hit me like the draft is postponed. I said, "To win."
I know this is why you're in charge of the team.
That's it.
Thank you. You won't forget. He won't forget.
Man, you're in charge of the team. I'll give my input. I'll be the offensive coordinator, as in I'm offending everybody with the smack talk.
Okay, because we got to talk draft strategies. I don't know Osa, if you're going to
don't disclose anything on here. You out here disclosing stuff on a public forum. No.
What you got in the tuck?
Continue.
No, I'm not discussing strategy here. Come on now.
Okay.
And don't do it in the chat because CJ and Sequel are in there.
I'm gonna separate it. Don't worry about that.
There we go.
We're gonna call it the winner's circle.
Wait, so that also you're not rocking with Reformed Hooligans?
Huh?
You're not rocking with Reformed Hooligans?
Why are you doing this? Why?
Look. My thing was like this podcast has your name on it, so for you to not rock with Osa and Abe would be mad disrespectful.
You're right. No, you're right. I'll have to consult the podcast.
Dang, we from Hooligans. He ain't rocking with
let
you.
me know because
it got me split up. No, time out though. When we first proposed this idea back a couple months ago on this program on a whim, I did say I was rocking with Osa and Abe. I did say that. So you can check the receipts.
Okay, we're going to discuss strategy. Us three. We will discuss.
Why am I even tripping? I got Zeke anyways.
You solid.
Yeah, I got Zeke solid. I'm tripping. We straight.
See, by the way, Zeke's the most safest first round pick out of any running back in the first round.
Yeah.
By the way.
We'll talk about it in a separate group chat.
Sony Michel actually got activated from the PUP list. But the problem is Damian Harris is taking first team reps with the Patriots. So this is a dynamic we're going to have to pay attention with the running back situation with Sony and Damian Harris. Right now, they're saying Damian Harris is excelling in pass catching and picking up blockers on third down. So my personal opinion, I have to give the slight nod to Damian Harris, and he's an excellent value pick in a double-digit round or close to. His ADP could shoot up within a couple of weeks, by the way, too. So depending if he gets more carries or he's declared the starting running back. So that's something to keep an eye out on. Minshew and Eifert in Jacksonville, they showed some solid connection at camp. So something to keep your eye out. I don't think Eifert is draftable, but he's a guy that you want to put on your watch list in terms of adding him on the waiver wire. See how many targets he gets. Alan Lazard, one of my sleepers for wide receiver. He's being solidified as the number 2 receiver behind Devontae Adams with the Packers, which I expected. even when they signed Devin Funchess, which he opted out for the season. Alan Lazard seems like he's a real solid wide receiver too, and you could definitely get him in double-digit rounds. I think he's a major steal based on his ADP. Was it Anthony Miller, the receiver from the Bears? He has a shoulder injury, but he should be back pretty soon. Nick Foles, it's not a surprise. He's so ahead of Trubisky. This is not a surprise.
I didn't know Trubisky still plays football.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. Now I'm kind of mixed with this Washington backfield now. Now they're saying Antonio Gibson is getting a fair amount.
The football team?
You said what?
Yeah, the Washington football team. Remember that?
Yeah. Washington football team. Now they're saying that he's getting a fair amount of first team reps. Again, I still think he's a developmental guy. A lot of fantasy analysts are pretty high on him, but he's more of a developmental guy. To me, the guys that own are Adrian Peterson, Bryce Love. My personal opinion.
Bryce Love. Eagles.
Yeah, and another good news, if you are looking at, if you like Derrick Henry, he is catching more out of the backfield. He made that more of an emphasis this offseason, according to Ryan Tannehill. So it seems like they're going to be able to give him the the ball in passing situations, especially with the rookie running back fumbling 3 times last week with Deron Evans from Appalachian State. So it seems like he's going to be the guy. Now, one of my sleeper running backs, me and Josiah agrees with me on this, Zach Moss is going to be a factor in the passing game. Now, keep in mind, I do believe
Josiah has been speaking highly about that boy.
Yeah.
He's been high on him.
And me and Josiah talked about this. Zach Moss is going to have a Frank Gore role. Keep in mind, the players that had the most red zone rushes on the Buffalo Bills team was Josh Allen and Frank Gore. Devin Singletary didn't hardly get any red zone carries inside the 5-yard line. Keep in mind, why do you think Josh Allen had a high amount of touchdown rushes inside the 5? Why do you think Frank Gore did? Now, if Zach Moss is going to have a Frank Gore type role, that means he's going to be a vulture for those touchdowns, which still creates fantasy value for him. To me, he's the best value player in terms of rookie running backs, and also Devin Singletary to me is overvalued based on his ADP.
Man, you've been saying that. Devin Singletary is just overrated.
I don't think he's a good player. It's just his ADP is just too rich for me. I'd rather get a mid-tier wide receiver too, like a DK Metcalf or other guys over Singletary, because their upside is much higher than Singletary's, especially if he's not getting that much goal line work. Another one is Brandon Ayuk. He suffered a mild hamstring. Guys, I've been pretty hype on him in terms of his skill set and his athleticism, but he's still looking like a top 2 option for the 49ers. Another big fantasy news. Falcons OC, Dirk Cutter, former Tampa Bay head coach. He expects Todd Gurley to average between 15 to 25 touches per game.
Really?
Yeah. Which, if that's the case, it still puts him as a solid RB2, depending on his efficiency of his carries. Yeah. Which is fair. I think his ADP is fair. I don't think he's overvalued. I don't think he's undervalued. I think his ADP is fair, and you go ahead and take a shot on him as an RB2. If you have him as an RB3, you're solid, because there is some element of risk there based on his injury history. I understand that. But if you have him as an RB3, which I ideally like a super flex league, I would like that. But only time will tell with that. Mike Williams, the receiver from the Chargers, he more likely will miss week 1 as well. Now, Chase Claypool is making non-rookie like plays. The rookie receiver out of Notre Dame who got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're saying he's making some plays in camp. And shout out to CJ. He's been really hype on this undrafted rookie running back, JaMychal Hasty. He's been impressive in 49ers camp. So we'll see if he's able to climb up that depth chart. And
I got Raheem Mostert, so
yeah. Well, Depends what round you get him. I do believe he's overvalued for his ADP.
This is my first round pick.
You have him as a first round pick?
No, I'm just playing.
Yo, I was just saying, I don't know. Another receiver, Christian Kirk, out in Arizona. Also, he's been in trade discussions, possibly, according to rumors. Cliff Kingsbury said that he still believes he's an ascending player, especially with that offense able to spread out. You have Kirk, Hopkins, Fitzgerald, even some people like Andy Isabella as their four receivers. And they got Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds, two running backs out of the backfield. So, I mean, Christian Kirk can have some value, but it depends on the amount of receptions that he gets. Another one, Preston Williams, one of my sleeper receivers as well in Miami. He's potentially playing better than ever, according to some coaches. And he's more likely to be the number 2 receiver behind Devontae Parker. But look at Devontae Parker's injury history. Yes, he did have a breakout year last year. But if he's down, Preston Williams is the automatic number 1 receiver for that team. So something to keep an eye on. Now, for the Washington football team, Logan Thomas is emerging as Washington's number 1 tight end. And I'm going to be honest. I was watching some of the team's clips. Haskins was targeting him a lot inside the 20. I'm just gonna keep it real. So it depends on what he does in the game. Right now, it looks like Cam Newton's gonna be the starter. Stidham has threw too many picks in camp, so Cam looked like he's gonna have the job pretty easily.
The best quarterback in his division.
You said what?
Look, I don't even know.
The best quarterback in his division.
I don't even know why it was a question that Cam would be the starter. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, that's foul. That's foul. This man, y'all act like he ain't a former MVP. Like, that's that stuff.
Yeah. And okay, now we're going to talk about Abe's Bengals. Now everybody's hyping up
Bengals.
Everybody's hyping up. AJ Green, Burrow, Mixon, and Ross at times, and the draft pick T. Higgins. But there's one receiver that has been called the offensive MVP, and his name is No. His name is Arden Tate.
Is he still in the league?
Who?
Nah, he's a commentator now.
Yeah, he's a commentator for Fox Sports. But Arden Tate has been named the offensive MVP so far in Bengals camp. Now, keep in mind, he was a hot waiver wire ad the second half of the season. And I did pick him up because at the time, Bengals was passing the ball over 70% of the time due to them trailing. Now, keep that in mind. Now, I'm not going to lie. This Bengals receiver group is kind of in a long jam because you have pretty good receivers. But if Arden Tate is at the number 3 wide receiver, or it could come down to an injury between John Ross, which he does have an injury history, and AJ Green. Arden Tate can slide up in that receiver depth chart and can have a fantasy impact. Just FYI. So I like Arden Tate if he's able to climb up the draft board, climb up the depth chart.
Chief. Abe?
Say what?
Abe, are you gonna get one of your Bengals for fantasy?
Sir, we don't discuss strategy in public.
Yeah, we are not.
Okay, Chiefs GM said that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on pace to have a big year. I mean, there's
Captain
no
obvious.
Yeah, right. Ron Rivera, the coach of the Washington football team, said that Bryce Love can be an every down back. I feel like this is not a surprise for us. He was an every down back in college. Now, I said,
of health.
Yeah, it depends on his health. But I said this guy could be an ADP steal if he, especially in PPR leagues, catching the ball out of the backfield. Another one. Pete Carroll said that we're just gonna hammer the ball, hammer the rock. Now, I want you to I want you guys to think about this.
Said that in 2016.
Right, but he's not talking about running the football. He's talking about letting Russell Wilson sling it. Pause. I had to say that. Now, there's a hashtag out there saying that let Russ cook. Basically,
So
there's a
they're just
hashtag
gonna
out
let him
there.
just fling it, just
Yeah,
throw
basically
and just
sling
go
the
to
ball.
work.
Pause. They want him to throw the rock
I mean,
more
you got
than what he
Metcalf.
did in
We
years
calling him
past.
Rowdy Russ. That's what he's gonna be this year. Rowdy Russ.
Right. I mean,
firing that thing.
And by the way, Russell Westbrook has a top 3 easiest schedule for fantasy quarterbacks this year.
Wilson.
You said Westbrook. It's okay. Russell Wilson.
But yeah, Russell Wilson. Yeah, I said Westbrook. Yeah. I always get. Hey, this is not the first time I got it mixed up.
I'm like, wait. Did you switch the top?
Okay, Russell. Yeah, so Russell Wilson has a top 3 easiest schedule for fantasy quarterbacks. So just
isn't that your MVP front runner pick right
Yeah,
there?
actually it is. I actually have him predicted as my MVP.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Bruce Arians said that Gronk looked like he did 5 years ago. Also, Peter King did say that he believes that Gronk will be on a snap count in the beginning of the season as the tight end 3 for the Bucs due to the depth that they have. Now, to me, this, if that's the case, that means Rob Gronkowski's injury projection will go lower. Remember what I said weeks ago? I said that players coming out of retirement after a year have a 70% chance of being injured. Keep that in mind. I do believe he is a risk in terms of what round you're drafting him. Me personally, anywhere between earlier than round 9. I believe he's a risk in terms of drafting based on him retiring and coming back. Now, if he's on a limited snap count, he still has value because it looks like they're going to put him more in red zone packages and 12 personnel, which I do believe that'll be a benefit in terms of you guys drafting him. But if he's getting in like an increased snap count more than OJ Howard and Cameron Brate, there could be a cause for concern because his elevated injury rate could go up. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it's risky. It's risky. Depends on the value.
But it saves them also for the playoffs too.
Yeah,
like if they want to make a deep run in the playoffs, you save Gronk during the season and avoid injury as a fresh out of retirement, like you said, 70% injury, chances.
Right.
Playoff Gronk. Okay, that's a Gronk not to be fooled with. The other PG.
All right, wait. Here's the thing. Are we expecting people to reach for Gronk?
I personally believe it. It wouldn't surprise me. I've done so many mock drafts. I did so many best ball drafts. I can't even draft best ball no more for Yahoo. I can't even draft no more. I've seen a lot of trends of people taking Gronk earlier in the 9th round. I just feel like it's too risky, especially with the tight end rankings.
I didn't want to touch him. Especially
with the tight end being deeper than what people think. By the way, I will release my tight end rankings today, by the way. Just FYI. But yeah, it's too risky. And I have other guys who have possibly higher upside floors over Gronk. But Gronk, he's in a good position based on the offense and the chemistry between Tom Brady, obviously. That doesn't hurt.
Where does Todd Heap fall on your tight end?
Todd Heap.
There you go. There's your answer.
Todd Heap. Todd Heap. I mean, he was a former Raven, but
I'm so confused.
All right. I got a couple more. J.K. Dobbins, he's not locked into carries behind Ingram. Again, the Ravens have a deep running back core, so he's not locked in. And I mentioned it late last week, I think, when I did the update with the Rams backfield situation. Cam Akers has been taking first-team reps for the Rams. So he's a guy, I mean, if that continues, then, again, based on his ADP, he could be a value. I believe he's a 6th-round ADP, if I'm not mistaken. The Colts, they expect an early season role for Michael Pittman. Now, according to some coaches, they believe that Michael Pittman will be the X receiver for the Colts. Obviously, you have T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman, and then obviously you have the emergence of Paris Campbell, who they drafted a year before, I believe, in the top 3 rounds from Ohio State. So the Colts have potentially 3 good receivers, 2 of them being young. Within their first couple of years, Pittman's only going to be a rookie, but Campbell's 2nd year, so we'll see how that plays out. And then, and that's basically Oh, one more thing with your Vikings. I gotta mention about the Vikings.
Talk.
Justin Jefferson, as of right now, he's being cleared as a top 3 option for the Minnesota Vikings.
Makes sense. He's
I
looking
drafted
good.
him
I
with
saw
my
some
last
film. He
pick.
looks good.
I drafted him on my last pick just because,
Well, he's saying he's at least the top 3 option in terms of the passing game. So that's good news. He's making progressions.
LSU,
right?
Go Tagish.
Right.
Well,
and then Calvin Ridley, he's doing more squats to become a more of a 1,000-yard receiver. Now, keep in mind, me and Chase have been saying this. Atlanta Falcons is the number 1 team in most designated targets in the NFL. Now, if you have Julio Jones, you have Calvin Ridley, which I do believe he'll have a breakout year. Because he's been steadily inside the top 20 for fantasy wide receivers. And this is off his first 2 years. Now, his yardage is going up. His air yardage is going up. That's an indication of him breaking out into his 3rd year into the league. I like Calvin Ridley a lot as a breakout wide receiver this year, especially the Falcons. Falcons have the most vacated targets. The opportunity is still there.
I'm just going to interrupt real quick to say, hey, Trey. Hey, Jay. Hey, Jordan. How y'all doing? Continue.
No, other than that, that's it. I'm good.
Once again, in the rumor mill with Mr. Watson. He brings it. You redeemed yourself since that first fiasco where the community was calling for you to be drug tested and Cecil was about to Amazon Prime you a drug test.
Like free shipping. Like
So thank you for redeeming yourself. We wholly appreciate it. But as we wrap up this episode, we would be remiss if we did not pay tribute and homage to one Kobe Bean Bryant. This week was his birthday. 8/24 was Mamba Day. Most of us because it's Mamba week. Most of us because we're not, weirdos when it comes to the sneaker game and don't have $300 bots.
I'm so hurt.
We missed out on the Pro Tros.
I wanted the 5-time champ one that dropped on Monday. I wanted it so badly.
Bro. I just wanted the Mamba City Edition jersey, I was so depressed. I didn't even hop in on the undefeated pack raffle. Them joints cold too. But hey, here we are. Lakers win game 4, against the Blazers on Bean's birthday. It was something to behold. Okay. At one point,
no, on 8/24 day, the day
on 8/24, my bad. On 8/24 on Mamba Day, my bad. On Mamba Day, it was something to behold. At one point the score was 8-24. The 24 belonged to the Lakers, and the Lakers destroyed the Blazers. Okay, in my mind, that was payback for how Dame pretty much single-handedly destroyed the Lakers on that Friday, that first game that the Lakers played after Kobe's passing. Man. Just when not saying that I was over Kobe's passing, because it's like that. It's one of those things in 2020 that's like right there. Just when you think you got away, it's like right there. And then this week came, and it's like, dude, like he's really gone. He's gone. It feels so unreal. I read Allen Iverson's letter that he wrote to him. Got me in the feels. Gents, where's your headspace been at with Kobe week this week?
He's somebody that is definitely one of those people where when he first passed, of course it was emotional and stuff. Now it's I don't think it's more of just the emotional part. It's just the actual realization, like he's, like you said, he's gone. Like you get reminded of the fact that he's not present right now. He's not present with us physically. And I think it's a lot of people always want to say, well, the world just went crazy when he died, and ironically it kind of did happen like that. But I think the one thing that I hope we're still taking away from just his life is the work ethic, the dedication, and the willingness to pay attention to detail. um, and to care about what you love. You know, care about the things that you want to show passion for. It's one thing just to do something or to do a task or a responsibility or whatever, but when you show that you love it, or even if you develop that love for it when you didn't love it at first, that's what matters. And he showed that. He definitely represented the that determination, that focus, that you know that you see in some players today, some athletes, or even just some people. You have more people that work as a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, or a student, or whatever profession, and they'll tell you like a lot of how they operate deemed from or was inspired from Kobe's work ethic. So it just shows you how impactful he was off the court, on the court, with his peers, and so yeah, I think it's just a time to really reflect and get inspired from what he was able to do best.
I was definitely sad that I couldn't get any gear. I decided not even bother waking up early on Monday when I saw people were missing out on Sunday. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna take this L. But all in all, I'm really glad that there's a whole week dedicated to mom. I'm really glad that Lakers fans and just fans of the sports alike get to really take time to pay tribute to an icon. I mean, no matter what your opinion of Kobe is on the court, he's an icon. He's an assassin. He's often quoted. Shout out to Lil Wayne who made the song about Kobe, which was ill, one of my favorite songs. But off the court, especially later after retirement, just the role model was trying to be not only to his own kids but
Yeah,
to all kids in general, especially to women. He was a big advocate of trying to uplift them. Shout out to Kyrie Irving, who's been doing the same thing, putting his sister on with having her come out with her own
yeah,
customized shoe for women, then the money he's donated to the WNBA. I really appreciate what Kobe was doing, and I'm glad that his legacy and his efforts aren't being forgotten. Shout out to everybody who's stepping up and realizing, like, yo, what Kobe was trying to do is something that we've been ignoring for a while. We need to pay more attention to the women athletes, to the women in general. They
yeah,
deserve just as many rights as we do. And so, I'm not saying that Kobe was the first or the last, but he is definitely one of the most recent and prominent ones to really speak up about it and to put thoughts to action. And so, again, not saying that I'm over here trying to hope that the Lakers win. Even I don't even know if I'm going to get a season. Shout out to all the teams that decided to boycott today.
Right.
The Bucks, the Magic, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Trailblazers, the Thunder, and for sure, I know my Celtics are going to boycott tomorrow along with the Raptors. Shout out to the Brewers in baseball for being like, "Yo, we gonna
yeah,
boycott." And low key, Sammy had a great point. I'm not sure if I would call it a boycott, but more so of a strike, especially if it has lasting implications. But all in all, it's a powerful week. It really is with everything going on, and on top of that, it's Mamba week. It seems not to sound rude or to sound like trying to put glitter on a mud stained pig, but Kobe definitely would have used this time to really make his voice known about the issues going on. There's no way he would have sat silent. And we're seeing all the athletes stepping forward, and they're not. No one in this generation anymore is staying silent. People are using their voices
Right.
to try to bring about change, and I will never stand against that. I am all for it. If you wanna sit out a game, I feel you. If you wanna leave the bubble, I feel you. If the season gets canceled, I feel it. Because it's not like all these players are just doing this and then they're just gonna go home and chill. No, they are taken to the streets. Jalen Brown, Michael Brogdon months ago, Jalen drove from Boston all the way to Georgia to protest. Brogdon was out there on the streets. Braun, Trey Young, others, they was trying to get they're working on combating voter suppression. Like, these athletes are putting their money where their mouth is, and they're forcing organizations to put money where their mouth is. And so, we're living in unprecedented times. This world is changing, and look, you're either gonna change with it, or you're gonna remain stagnant, resist, and get forgotten about and left behind.
Yeah, man, with me with Kobe, I obviously I grew up watching Michael Jordan, uh, obviously, but when Jordan retired, it was like, okay, who's the next guy? You know what I mean? And Kobe was the guy. You know what I mean? Me, obviously, me being a Laker fan as well, it was just like double the excitement for me just watching him grow from his rookie year until his end of his career, and also him being a father and winning an Oscar. You know what I mean? Like just alone that self is like this dude won an Oscar. Just me seeing him growing up, giving the city of LA 5 NBA championships. He's been an MVP. I think he's obviously a 3-time Finals MVP as well. Man, so many scoring titles. It's like this guy gave everything to LA. I mean, obviously he had his ups and downs in his career, but man, this guy prevailed, and he did it all. The one thing I admire about Kobe, obviously, is his work ethic, but him, his focus level, the level of detail he put into the game. That's what really impressed me, and sharing that knowledge later on in his career. And he obviously was more open. He was more open in terms of letting himself, go, see more of his personality and things like that. And to me, that's what I appreciated with Kobe, man. It's just like, man, like he was more relatable towards the end of his career, and then obviously doing a lot of things. He did some humanitarian things that people don't really know about, and just him sharing the game. Obviously, he made a huge impact overseas, and on and off the court. I mean, this guy, man, he was a role model. He was the Jordan. He was the Jordan to a lot of these ball players. So, man, it's sometimes, I mean, I can't believe it that he's gone. It's just with him. But man, I will forever, forever, keep that Kobe Mamba mentality in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like resilient. It's resiliency. That's how I view it. So yeah, man, just rest in peace.
I think as I wrap us here, I remember some of the interviews that Kobe had towards the end of his career, and they're asking him what's next. And he was talking about, he was going to be an author and, wanted to produce films and all the different ventures he wanted to have his hands in. And I was genuinely excited because when you look at athletes, especially within the Black community, normally the mindset is, well, once you get to the league, it's done. Like you've reached your destination. It's a wrap. But with Kobe, what we saw was, no, that was just a part of the journey. And Kobe was determined for the second half of his life to be better than the first half, that his post-playing career to be better than what his playing career looked like. And so if there was a question I would leave us with, it's this. Kobe was working on being a storyteller. Another book just dropped a couple weeks ago that he had co-authored. What is the story that's going to be told about you when this period or era of history is looked back on? For all of our listeners, I want you to consider that question. What will be said of you? Now, you don't have to go out and, run for office. You don't have to, give hundreds of thousands of dollars but what is the story that's going to be told? What are the little things that you're going to do? What's the narrative that's going to be told about your life during this era? Is it going to be said that you sat back on the sidelines and did nothing and you just let life happen to you? Or, as we saw so beautifully illustrated in Kobe's life, that no matter what the situation, the circumstance, the season, the adversity, Kobe did not let life happen to him. He took it by the horns and he went after it, no matter what it took and what it looked like. So I hope that you would live a life to where the story that is told of you in regards to this era in history is something that you can be proud of. With that being said, folks, that concludes another episode of the Osa and Abe show, presented to you by SSAW in conjunction with the Craft Factory. I'm Mr. 50% himself. Hashtag today, folks. Men's mental health matters. All right. 50% Abe, our man with the beat on the streets. Man, aka Baba Funke, and of
Yes,
course
sir.
himself, our producer,
sir.
aka member of the Do Rag Don today, Cecil.
On today.
As we
Next
sign off,
week.
folks, you already know what it is. One thing, 2 words. Get that in your brain. Omo Naija.
Ah.
Get out of